Alright, so this is the Basinga tomato, and I am doing another review on this year because I don't feel I did it very good justice last year. I figured I'd revisit this tomato again this year. So here we are. This is what it looks like. Now this is considered to be a white tomato. It's got a funny shape on it, but they're not always like that. And you can see the blushing on the bottom. And it's actually quite a gorgeous tomato. I really like the Basinga tomato. It's not a very common tomato. At one point this tomato almost disappeared off the market, but now more people are offering seeds to it again, so it's kind of making a comeback. But this tomato was becoming extinct at one point, if you want to use that term. There is a history to this, but I don't know it offhand. I'll leave the information in the description below. And we'll give it a taste test and see what the sugar level is on it. So let's cut it open. I did drop this tomato a couple of times. As you can see, a little hollowness over there. There's not much wilding in the rind, but there is some wilding around the edge. Very meaty tomato, by the way. This tomato is a tomato really geared for making tomato sauce with. And so the whole inside center of this tomato is very meaty, should I say. So it's an excellent tomato when it comes to that kind of a thing. Do a bricks on it. Very juicy. This tomato's been ripening for quite a while, so it's very low. It's actually 6 on the meter, 6 on the bricks. And let's give it a taste test. So let's cut a little piece off. Let me cut it off there. Looks very soft. It's probably been way overripe. This is really a sauce tomato at this point. This is the way I like to leave my tomatoes, right up to around this point when I'm making my tomato sauces. The main reason why I do that is because I add the seeds to my sauce to give it that tanginess. But it's easier to deskin them this way rather than blanching your tomatoes and taking the skins off. I just like to get them really soft, squeeze out the whole inside of it as much as you can. Just toss the skin. You don't have to get every single microscopic speck. You just squeeze it out as best you can and chuck the skin. You're good. So let's give that a go. Very nice. It's very pleasant tasting tomato. Very, very pleasant. It's not super sweet like you knew that from the bricks, but it's not super sweet. But it's not super tangy either, so it's got a nice flavor of tang. But it does have a pretty good tomato flavor. So the tomato, it's all between the flavor of the tomato, the tanginess, and the sweetness. Very well balanced. They're almost, I don't know, 30, 30, 30 if you want to go that way, or something. 33, 33, 33. It's pretty well right up the middle. Maybe not 100%, but something like that. It's pretty well balanced. I'll have another piece. Very delicious. I got to say some of the seeds from this because here's a few of the other tomatoes that were on there. Something happened to the bottom. That could either be blossom end rot or it could be insect damage, and you can see the mold on there. Where are you? You see that mold? Once you see that, it's been raining so much here, even my tomato plants inside my greenhouse are getting mold on them. I picked a few tomatoes off that were covered in white fuzz because it's so humid. It's literally that humid. And so I'm starting to lose my crops on the inside of my greenhouse simply because of the 95+% humidity every single day. So that's an unfortunate thing. But hopefully I could get a few seeds out of that one, and I'll be able to have seeds from this year. So let's take one more bite out of this. It's a very watery tomato. It's like eating a watermelon. Get out of here. It's like eating watermelon. It's just very watery. But it has a great taste. The skin is kind of tangy, but that's okay. And the skin chewed up very nicely. It doesn't get stuck in your teeth or any of that stuff. And just a great tomato. I always was a big fan of this Basinga tomato. I just haven't had any luck the last couple of years growing it because every year has been a nightmare with the weather. I mean, it's either too dry or it's overly raining. There's no nice medium. You know, it's just crazy weather we're having. So this tomato is kind of sensitive to the climate, basically. But it's really a delicious tomato. I would rate this up there with my you know, my top 5. I'll say it like that. I would definitely put this up in there in my top 5 or even my top 10, because I grow so many tomatoes. It's really hard to make it even into the top 5. But it's a really great tomato. I really love this tomato. It's like I say, it's supposed to be a white tomato, but it's really a cream colored tomato, and it gets this beautiful blushing on the bottom. It's an absolutely gorgeous tomato. And I'm yet to make a sauce with it, so I may do that in the future. I may make, if I can get enough of them, I'll make a good sauce with them. But these tomatoes are one of the best when it comes to the white. There's this one and that white tomasol are my favorite white tomatoes. They're just absolutely delicious tomatoes. Every year they come out great. I love those tomatoes. But what else did I not hit on about this? Yes, it's a Solanum lycopersicum. It's a regular leaf tomato, I believe it is. Yeah, it's a regular leaf, but it's more like a sawtooth leaf, regular leaf. The leaves like the weep. They kind of come out like a weeping willow tree, and they hang down. It's a slightly different sub-profile when it comes to the leaf identification. So it's a little bit different. It's not dying. It's not sick. It's just the way the plant grows. It grows very much like the speckled Roman tomato. Has that weeping willow look to it. And the leaves just grow and they hang down, and they got the sawtooth pattern on the end of their leaves. But it's generally classified as a regular leaf, just so we're clear on that. And it's an indeterminate tomato. That's about all I know about it. There is some history behind this, how it was brought to this country and everything. If I could find it, I'll leave it down in the description below. And that's it. That's your tomato review for the Basinga tomato. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.